Hello! And welcome to art tutorial for coloring. Yes. Okay, so I tested some stuff to be able to explain in Ibis Paint. And I did this little sketch. I did this in Procreate so that it will be easier for me. So because this is just about coloring. And this is Mr. Broad. He will be helping us today. Let me explain the setup. So you have your sketch or your art or whatever it is. First, we're going to do... Let me find it. First, we are going to do... Oh. My bad. Sorry. Let's see. Soft coloring. Since this is a little bit easier, first we're going to do soft coloring. This is like the watercolor effect, the very soft, airy coloring that I do. So the first thing that you should do is here in background, right here, right under your see selection layer, the layer of the sketch right here, and under that you see background, and you can choose different options. So you can have color background, you can have a transparent background, you can have this transparent background, and this is some sort of texture that you can use. For a background, when it comes to soft coloring, I recommend, depending on the skin color of the character, the background color be either green, blue, like this, light blue, or red, pink. For Road, I'm going to do this green. Just because when I will show you. So if it's white, first create a new layer, put it under the sketch layer, obviously. Let's grab, I'm going to explain the brush after. Do I have, oops, my bad. There it is. Okay. So, let's say this is a white background, and we're going to do like the soft coloring like this. This is how it looks now. Now, if we change the background color to this soft green, a little darker like this, see how the color pops out and has more, the skin color just looks more skin coloring. And you can see that there's different effects with a different color. See, this looks a little more, this is more for more, if you want to do more intense lighting or something a little bit more moody. This is if you want it to be really, really ethereally soft. Because it kind of blends with the skin and it gives it a bit more depth. I prefer to use green just because I think it looks the best for this skin color. There's different, obviously test it with your different skin colors. See what looks best to you. Now, this is what I did for the coloring. I chose this brush. It's called Hard Edge. It's in the basic brushes. You can find it, if you scroll down under the watercolors, you find Hard Edge. I modified it, so you can look at the settings right here. I touched basic, fade, and shape. The most important is this spacing one. You have it about this much. And that way, you have a sort of watercolory effect, you see? The way that it's the thickest where you touch, and it gets more diluted in the center. This is what gives it that watercolory effect. I use a brush very similar to this in Procreate, which is why I took this one first. Okay, so we've done the skin. Now, on the same, I use the same layer. You don't have to if you don't want to. But when it comes to coloring, I feel that when it comes to soft coloring, I feel that it just looks more natural because it blends together. Take whatever is your hair color. I chose the wrong color. let's say it like this. Oop. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Hair like this. Oop. See the way it layers of the green up. Like this. Da mommy. I apologize, you can hear my cat. Now, you zoom in. Color in the eyes. You can be more precise than this, obviously. I'm just showing you the technique. Is this the skin color? I can't remember. And you can layer it if you think it's too... if you think the opacity is too low. Obviously, you can... there, this was the skin color. If you think the was it this one? Why doesn't it save skin colors? Okay, anyway. If you think the opacity is too low, then you can just repeat it. I don't usually, but you can. Okay. Having some trouble with the skin color because I can't remember what I picked. I think it was this one. Okay. I recommend to make the brush as big as possible because that makes the dilution better. Like, see how big it is right now. Okay, lovely. We like it. Add a little bit of detailing where there would be shadows. So, for example, right here, under the eyes, under the hair, right here. Like this. Oop. Oh. The hair. I'm not used to Ibis paint yet. Anymore, that is. Okay. Layer some colors here. When it comes to soft coloring, you don't need to use any kind of special shading. Just use a slightly darker but more saturated color than your base color. So here we have this orange, and next to it we have this. So use a darker but saturated color. This is for the shadows specifically. Here you can make the brush smaller so that you're able to put in some details. This. And dilute it by drawing in it. So this is for the shadows. For the light, I just take a lighter color than the base color or just directly white. And I do, this is for highlights. And you can like do it until you like how it looks, like this. See, I'm diluting it a bit more. This is not the end of highlights and shadows. This is just the base thing that we're doing. Okay, and then if you think this is too thin, you can duplicate, if I figure out how to do that, duplicate layer. See how it makes it a bit more thicker. And here you can adjust the opacity a little bit. Let's put it like this. Okay. Now for the, we also I forgot to do the, here's his, oh. Right. This is his tank top thing. Yeah. Here's his tank top thing. Do it like this. Add slightly darker color. Dilute it. Like this. Oop. And you can use, I think the acrylic mix, there we go. The acrylic mix did some blending like this. You can just blend it out, and then you can use this again to do, there, to just fix it around, just do whatever like looks best to you, like this, and we're grabbing this again, making it smaller, and just like blending it in right here, at the end, right here. This. Okay. I'll duplicate. Oh, sorry. I'll duplicate this layer. Great, and we're gonna eat. If I figure out how to do that, no. There we go, and merge it to the one below. For the eyes, I use the same technique. Oops. Take again your hard edge, color in the eye like this. Take the other eye color, do it like this. Now, remember, or at least this is how I draw eyes. Here I recommend that you grab a different brush. Still an airy one, but not quite this diluted. Grab, let's see, Pan Fade. Oh, by the way, I'm not paying for Ibis Paint. I just did the 24 hours. Okay. Like this. This. Like this. The darker. Like this. This is just very quick. Obviously, you can, if you prefer a different method to coloring eyes, that's perfectly fine. This is just how I do it. Now this is the base. Make a new layer. Oh, make a new layer. And here, take this color from the underside and draw it in. Oop. Come on, Ibis Paint. Don't do this. Okay. New layer. New layer. Take a color from under and draw in like this. Do the same with this eye. And you can also, I usually also do it with, oh my god. How do you do the thing where I also recommend a small stabilizer. I don't know how you turn off the thing where if you touch with your hand, but anyway. You can also take the lightest color in the eye like this. Like this. Oh. Yeah, like this. Add additional little highlights. And you can just tighten it up with, oh my god, custom. You can just tighten it up if you go in with take this color and do this like this. Oop. When I color eyes, I usually, when it comes to this method, I usually wing it because I just go by what looks best. This, and you can then, I sometimes do a bit more, but when it comes to like a soft coloring, That's more or less what I do. Now you can duplicate this and add, let's see, overlay, hardline, vivid, there, pin. I usually do add because it's a bit more sparkly, like this. Oh. And now you've got your eyes, or at least a base for the eyes. You can then delete a little bit of this so it doesn't look strange. There. And something else today. We're still not done, by the way. We are far from done. Merge everything. Again, I merge everything like this. And now you can take your eraser and just neaten up whatever edges you want. Just make it a bit more, just make it a little bit more neat. Like this. Oop. There we go. And you can grab some of, come on. There we go. And grab a little bit and just blend in the edges that don't look good. Like this. Make it a bit bigger. And just blend in anything that doesn't look quite nice or is cohesive or whatever. You can just take and blend. There we go. So now we have the base. Now, from the basic, grab, let's say this pencil. Let's say, yes, this is perfect. Now, very important, grab this color and go the opposite way. Here, let's grab this saturated light blue. So whatever color you pick, is the base, go the opposite way and add detailing like this. Very small, very light. Oop. And just do this. You can make it bigger if you want to, like this, but I usually prefer to make them quite small. Add it, this is very important, add it in the shadows. Add it right next to the light, but not on the light, and anywhere where you think there is a shadow. Oh, something very important I forgot to add. The shadow depends on where the light source comes from. So if the light source is, in this case, from this direction, then all the shadows will be here, on the opposite side. Think of it like this. What obscures? Wherever something obscures the light, let's say it comes from here, so this part will obscure. So the shadow will be here. You can even outline it if you prefer, like this, to make it easier. So wherever there would be shadow, you just add this little, you can add it in the eyes. I usually mostly add it in the hair because it's just the easiest way. Add it in the skin, just a little bit. And follow the direction of whatever it is that you're doing. So for example, the direction here is like this. So you follow, for example, the direction here is like this. So you follow this direction. Try and envision the objects in 3D. So for example, this part of the arm, it's not flat. It's not like this. It goes like this. Like this. So try to envision and try to follow the shape of whatever it is. I usually also like to take green, add green. It doesn't have to be this saturated. If you prefer darker colors, you can just do it like this. This is just how I do it. I prefer lighter, more saturated, like this. Do it in the shadows. If you like, you can add some pink. I usually also add a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of pink, just to add more color variety. Again, not on the highlights, just on the shadows. It's not realistic, but it makes the drawing look more fun, and it helps it pop a little bit. Just a little, whoop, like this. Then, if you like, you can grab the smudge. I actually did not realize there was a smudge. So grab the smudge, and you can just smudge only the edges. Don't smudge the middle. Only the edges of the... only the very edges of those lines that you made. So just to make them blend in just a little. Ibis paint is not my strongest. So if I was doing this in Procreate, I'd probably be doing better, but I hope that I'm explaining it well. The main thing is that for you to like it. So do it to the degree that you think looks nice, cohesive, and neat. Then do save image. Save it. Okay. Now exit back to gallery. Oh. We're going to have to watch an ad. I forgot about that. I apologize. Go back. Now do the plus import picture and import your picture. Copy it, duplicate. Okay. Now go to filter. This is the step I like most. Go to filter. Go to adjust color, brightness, and contrast. You can adjust the brightness. You can adjust the contrast. What I like to do is up the saturation like this. So saturation is how bright and hard the colors are. So if you do saturation 0, it will be black and white. If you go the highest, see, it's really hard on the eyes. I prefer to do it like this. The hue changes basically what the colors are. So if you don't like, for some reason, the colors that you chose, you can use the hue to make them just different, a different color. Lightness is how light it is. I don't use this one at all. Oop. What was that? Okay. Saturation up. Oop. There we go. This is what I do. You can also go to blur. Is it in blur? Unsharp mask. And do a sharp. See how it makes the lines sharper. Don't do it much. Just a little bit to make it just pop. A little more. Just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm trying to remember where this was in Ibis. Sorry. Draw. No. Artistic, maybe? Chromatic aberration. So either do the zooming or moving. If you want to do the zooming one, you need to put this little thing will be where it will be, see? It will be zooming from that area. If I put it here, it will be zooming from that thing. So, it really depends on what you want to focus on. Let's do the moving one. In moving, let's say 3 pixels. Only 3 pixels. You can add a little bit of noise. Just a little. So these are little things that are not super noticeable, but they make it pop. What is this? Oh yeah. I don't use this. I don't know what it is. Oop. There we go. Another really good tip to see if your drawing is popping out of the... How do I do this? Okay. If you want to know... And also, look. Now you can see the difference between the old one and the new one. Another thing that I recommend when you're doing a drawing that, especially if it has more than one person or a more complicated composition or whatever, put on top, make a new layer, color it black. What happened? Why is it? No. How do I... No, I don't want gap recognition. Oh my god. I don't use this, so I have no idea how... Opacity, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, use the paint color bucket. Put a black on top. And then change from here, from where it says normal, make it color. Now it would be black and white. However, your actual drawing will not be black and white. It will just look black and white. And if you notice, so you need to make sure that all the colors, that all of these colors pop out of the background. What I'm noticing here is that the drawing blends in, especially the skin, it blends in with the background. Even if it's not the same color, it still looks like it blends in a little bit. And I don't like that. So, take your drawing, like this. Can I invert? So, do the select, do invert selection area because that will select the outer. Then go to filter and go to adjust color, brightness and contrast, and play with the brightness. You can make it up or down until it pops. For a drawing as soft as this, I recommend going up. Okay. There we go. Remove. And now you can see that there is a big difference between the skin and the background. And now we remove this. And look how much better it looks. Now it pops out. Obviously, I missed some areas, but this is just to explain. Look how much it pops out now. It's just coming out. And if you like, you can also add... however, this is not something I can do here. Usually, on top, I like to duplicate the layer. I'm not sure exactly how I'll do this here, but go to the effects and graduation map. Oh, I can't use it. Okay, so there is something called gradient map, which helps you change all the colors, but I can't show it here, unfortunately, because go to the effects and graduation map. Oh, I can't use it. Okay, so there is something called gradient map, which helps you change all the colors, but I can't show it here, unfortunately, because I have to pay to do that. But I like to also add a texture on top. So if you have, I don't know how to add a picture. If there is a way, I'm not sure how you do this in Ibis, but if there is a way to add in a picture into this picture, you can add a texture. If you find like a paper texture, you can add a texture on top and it will add some additional texturing. And this is basically how I do my soft color. In the next one that I will do, which will not be now, which will be maybe tomorrow, I will explain how to do cell shading, which is just, it takes a lot more time. So this is just, if you want to color sketches and if you want to make it soft, you can do it like this. Obviously, also something else I didn't mention, your line art, you can change the color. So let's go back to the original. Let's go back to the original drawing right here. I forgot to say that. The line art also really matters. So if your sketch, it doesn't have to be black. If your sketch is black for some reason, make a new layer on top. Make it, oh, I'm sorry, I could not remember how to do that. Yeah, make a new layer on top of the line art like this, and click on this arrow right here, the one that says clipping. And now you can take your bucket and take your paint bucket, select not color, opacity, and see? If you remove the clipping, it's basically like an entire thing. But if you clip it, it means it only affects the layer below it. And see how it changes like the mood. It makes it softer or nicer. You can also make it blue. You can make it like dark like this. You can make it like this. Whatever you want to do, you can just change the color. See how much softer it made it? I didn't think to do that at the beginning. But this also works. We made it work. Anyway, next time I will explain about cell shading, because it's, like I said, more complicated. But this is your soft coloring that you can do in Ibis Paint. Obviously, you can polish it off a lot more. This is just to explain how to use the tools and how to use the basics. And I hope I have to pay to do that. But I like to also add a texture on top. So if you have